In this lesson, we will look at the implementation of a complex interface element, a slider with automatic and manual scrolling. For our task, we will use a pre-made template and study the implementation of the slider. This is how it looks and works. It's assumed that you already have basic skills with Autoplay Menu Designer, so we will not pay attention to the basics. See our other tutorials if necessary. The template demonstrates two ways to create a slider. One is using internal variables of objects. The second is using a subwindow object. In the beginning, we will study the first as the more complex and universal way. Let's copy the slider into a separate project for study. So, our slider consists of, first, image objects that are placed one under another. One object is visible, others are hidden. Second, left and right buttons. Two graphic button objects. Third, labels. We use simple text objects for them. Last, a group of items that shows the current slide and allows you to select the active slide. It's created from filled and unfilled ellipse objects. All items are grouped into a group called slider. Let's see how to change slides automatically. It requires several steps. First, add the timer object to the slider group using the context menu and configure it. Set the period of 4 seconds and check on the Auto Start checkbox. Adding the timer directly to the group allows you to copy the slider to another page or project. Next, we need to change the active slide when a timer is triggered. To change slide, we should hide the active slide and show the next slide using the Show Hide Objects action. Let's do it. Select the slider group and click the Add Action button. On the Event tab, select the Timer event and then select the timer name. Now we will use the Condition option to specify an additional condition for triggering of the event. Select the visible variable of the slide 1 object as an expression for the condition. It means that if slide 1 is visible, the event is triggered and the action will be executed. For this event, select the Show Hide Objects action. Select the slide 1 object to hide, and select the slide 2 object to show. Additionally, we use animation when showing and hiding objects to make a smooth transition from one slide to another. Also, we need to add two similar actions for cases when the slide 2 or the slide 3 are visible. To avoid collisions, interrupt remaining actions if one event is triggered. Now let's see how we display the filled circles in the desired position. We could do it using the Show Hide Objects action as we did before for changing slides, but we use the object variable visible to demonstrate the capabilities. So, select one of the filled circles. Go to under Variables section of the Properties panel and select the visible variable. Next, link it with the visible variable of the appropriate slide. For example, for the middle circle, we can see that the filled circle will be visible when the second slide is visible. Similarly for the other two buttons. The next step. By clicking on the unfilled circle, we need to stop the timer and show the desired slide. We use the timer object actions to stop the timer. And the Show Hide Objects action to show the desired slide. Similarly for the other two unfilled circles. It remains to see how left-right buttons are configured. By clicking the button, we need to stop the timer as it was done in the previous step, and show the desired slide as it was done before for the timer event, using 3 Show Hide Objects actions depending on which slide is active. The slider setup is complete. Now let's go to the Courses 1 page and study the second, more simple way. Let's copy the slider into a separate project for study. First, we should place the Subwindow object on the page. Then add 3 pages of equal size to the subwindow. Each page is a separate slide. The composition of objects is the same as in the first method. However, each page has individual buttons. Add the timer object to the subwindow object using the context menu and configure it. Next, we need to change the slide when the timer is triggered. We use the Open Page action to open a next page inside the subwindow object. For each page, add a transition effect to make a smooth transition from one slide to another. The next step. On each page for forward, back buttons and unfilled circles, use 2 actions as response to the click. Stop a timer using the timer actions. And open a page with the appropriate name using the Open Page action. The slider setup is complete. As we can see, this way is easier to understand, but it will require more changes in case you need to change the design of buttons or text, for example. The link to this and other templates of Autoplay Menu Designer can be seen in the video description.